Hey everybody, welcome to another video. I am going to talk to you about neck knives, specifically a couple that I just picked up. These are the Odenwolf Minis. They're amazing little knives. Absolutely love them so far. I've done a lot of carving. I took a piece of wood and I just notched it like crazy with this guy right there, and it didn't change much on the edge at all. This is just a brilliant little design, a lot of fun to use, and it fits in the hand well. It's comfortable, not hard to use. It's just comfortable. And that's a problem that neck knives have had for a long time. Like, this is the first neck knife that I ever bought. This thing was thrown at me on Amazon so many times I decided, let's pick it up. I thought it was bigger. I thought it was, a couple inches bigger, but no, it's just this tiny little thing, and it's difficult to use. This is before I understood much about edge geometry and whatnot. The sheath is just terrible. Like, this little thing, it sticks in there, and without this strip of Velcro here, which, it barely holds. Like, let's be honest, it barely holds. That thing, the edge slides out and it's exposed there. It slices its own sheath up, and it's just not that good. Made out of mystery steel, has no markings on it at all. We know it's made in China because everything is made in China. Its wooden handle scales are not bad looking. The design's not terrible. It's a 3-fingered knife, so you can only get 3 fingers on there. It's just not pleasant to carve with. Even before I changed the sharpness and a bit of the edge geometry, it doesn't bite, it doesn't grab, it doesn't cut. I thought I'd use it for a food knife, but I carry a pocket knife for that. Today's flavor is this guy, just a cheap pocket knife. I keep it because it's easy to open and close with one hand. But I thought that's what this would be. Nah, it just isn't there. This was always hanging in my way, and just not a good solution. That one's out. My brother-in-law got me this one for my birthday years ago. CRKT makes this. It's called the Minimalist. Neat little knife. I thought I've seen this around, and I thought I would hate it because of these deep finger grooves, but that is actually comfortable to hold in this one position. Move it like that, and it's suddenly torquing onto your fingers. It's just grabbing a hold of your finger skin, and it's not comfortable to carve with. The sheath is perfect. You hear that nice crisp pop when you put it in there. Great neck knife. Not great for carving. You really got to hold on to it tight, which ends up stressing your hand, giving you hot spots really quick. Wearing out your thumb up here. So I've got a band-aid on there, so I've got something to push. It's worn off, but I've been carving a fire plow here to help start a fire, but not ideal for that. So its only use ended up being food prep. It's just not great. I don't like having only 3 fingers on a blade. I like to get a good grip on things, get a good handle on things. And that's what these Odenwolf's knives have done. This is a TP handle. All of their knives have that except for maybe 2 models. It even has a belt loop. So you can attach to a belt, which is what I've been doing with this guy, and then I can grab it and pull it out. I'm not done deciding where to put it. Hanging around my neck, again, I will just plop it in a shirt pocket like that, and then it's up against me, and I'm working, especially it's winter, then I can pull it out, pop the sheath off, and off I go. Here on the end of the spine, it's smoothed over a bit, so when you're working on something, like when I was carving these notches, I've carved the heck out of this. When I was carving these notches, I can push here, and it doesn't wreck my finger. It ends up being a pleasant experience, and it gets some good depth, nice cuts, cross-grain curls. And this right here is the Scandi grind version. You can make it just absolutely razor sharp. I've tweaked the edge a bit. Before I did that, it was still perfect. I didn't do a whole lot to the edge, to be honest. I actually taught a class, and the girl took the ferro rod and she went across the edge like that, just like that, and just rolled that edge. No knife will survive that, so I ended up having to remake the edge. It was my bad. I should have made it a little more clear. You use the spine, and this one has a great spine for striking a ferro rod. Both of them do. There's just a great little knife. I don't have anything negative to say about it. Now, I thought this sheath, it's held in there by little bumps, is just like a Morakniv style. Pops in there with a nice click, and I thought, oh, this is gonna wear out. So a while ago I went down to Oak City southern Utah, just this tiny little city, visiting some relatives, and the whole time I played with this knife, I just did this over and over and over again. I'm not kidding when I said I probably popped this in and out of its sheath 500 times, expecting it to wear out. If anything, it made that clack a little more crisp. You can kind of hear a difference with this one. It's a little more difficult to get in and out, but if you just pull this in and out when you need to use it, or do like me, pull it out when you're camping, stab it into a piece of wood, and leave it like that until you want to use it, put a little piece of colored paracord on there so you don't lose it, this sheath is going to last you years. Years and years. Again, at least 500 times I've popped this in and out of there. Just pop, pop, pop. Trying to wear this out. Trying to wear it out so that it would not retain well, because that's what I thought it would do. Now, all of us have had a Morakniv knife. This is the companion knife. We've all had this knife. I honestly thought the same thing with that sheath. I had one for 5 years, used it all the time, and it never wore out that sheath mechanism. So I think this one will last just as long, easily just as long. And the best thing about that is you can get a full fist on that. You can get your whole hand on that. And I've got smaller hands, so you guys have bigger hands. Maybe your little finger is going to be down here a bit. You can tie the paracord on there like the minimalist there, and you can wrap your finger around that a little bit if you've got real big bear paws and it just doesn't hold on. But again, strikes a ferrule real easily. And I'm not even pushing that hard. Just great to strike a ferro rod with. I think out of the two, I like the spear point here. What do they call that? A Saber grind. I like that a bit better. Once I polished that edge up, the factory edge was okay. Not really my favorite. I like it. It's D2, and I know what D2 can do. I've got a lot of knives in D2, and I always steepen the grind on there. I don't whack on them hard, so I know that I'm not going to risk of rolling the edge. I've got enough experience with it to know what D2 can and cannot do, and I just don't exceed the limitations. But again, it can carve across the grain just fine without any problems. And I can put pressure, sideways pressure on that. Now, I know what everybody thinks about neck knives, because I think the same thing. Like, okay, I bring a neck knife, I'm not going to be batoning anything. Like, anything bigger than about that, which is pointless to baton. You can chuck that right in the fire. I mean, unless this is your initial fire setup. In that case, you're breaking twigs anyway. You don't need to make twigs when the forest is full of them. But that, I mean, it'll baton that, right? Piece of cake, no problem there. The problem comes when you want to baton something like this guy. So, you end up getting to take a bigger knife into the forest with you, right? Which we all like to do. I mean, I've done it before. I mean, even if you take just a regular bushcraft knife like this, the Odenwolf flat. I got a thing for flat grinds, I tell you right now. I've got a lot of flat grinds, but let me pull these together. Oh, one quick thing before I go on to the next topic is this comes with this little ferro rod neck striker. Very sharp edge here for scraping a ferro rod. I don't like these things. I don't know that I'd ever use that. I mean, in an ultralight setup, it does work. You pinch onto there. You actually pull that up on the cordage. You pinch onto it, like get a good hand on there. Like that guy right there. You just pinch it with the ferro, the cordage here, which is something like 550 cord. And then you just scrape it with the teeth of this guy. Just make sure you don't scrape the cord, and it will strike it, given the right. Yeah. So you can start a fire with that in fat wood. It's not my favorite thing, like I said 1,000 times already. Focus, there we go. Yeah, you can see that little toothy thing, and then the ferro rod there. Small, it works. It's adequate. If you're doing like an ultralight thing, this can be that kind of a setup for you. You're gonna want to pinch that, hold it down, give it a good push and grind, and it's adequate. Like, right, you get some good fat wood like this thing here, and you throw the spark at it. It's fine. Not something I use, which is why I took it off of here. I didn't see a situation where I wouldn't have something like this.
2,000 years later.
If you're going ultralight, you just wanted something small like this. But you can do it. You can do it with that. That's no problem at all. Then you got a small ferro rod and a small striker. or bringing one of these guys. It doesn't weigh much more and it's much easier to strike. This one's from BPS. There you go, neck knives. They're a lot of fun. That's what I'm gonna doing, is bringing one of these bigger knives with me. That's gonna be it right there. I might not even bring a saw, just this and this, and call it a day. This, as you saw, just it wrecks chops right through wood. This is the Machete from Odenwolf. I have a link down below for everything and all the details on all this stuff, including the steel type and name and manufacturer and whatnot. And I'll do that for all of these knives. And voila! Just take these guys out with you, and that's all you need, right there. Ultralight setup. Kind of ultralight. I'll just take this guy out. That's all you need as an ultralight setup right there. That's all you need right there. Little neck knife, ferro rod, scraper. So that's that. This is an excellent little product. Really, really good thing for D2, like I said. Good thing. Love it. It's great for making fires, great for food, great for anything you want to use it for. Just know the limitations of your tools. And that's it. Love your faces, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.